Hello again, YouTube. This is Vasili, and welcome back to Dark Souls. Now, I'm sure you're probably noticing something different. The fact that, well, I have the Great Scythe now. So, as it turns out, I attempted to record Dark Souls again. I beat the gargoyles, got all the way through, killed the gaping dragon, and the recording decided to be a complete dickwad, so I had to restart the entire game. And, so that we don't have to deal with the problem, which is also why, as you can see, I am 14 levels lower than before. But anyways, to make up for that 14 level difference, and then also the fact that, well, I didn't exactly have any good weapons, and we at the end of the recording, we were about to go fight Quelaag, as I had just killed the gaping dragon. Well, I decided to go get a pretty good weapon early on, and I ran down through the catacombs and got the Great Scythe, which, whenever we do reach the catacombs once again, you'll notice. Wait, what am I doing going this way? We can just take the elevator. And so whenever we reach the catacombs, you'll notice because some of the necromancers have already been killed. I think I got rid of the first two. The first two necromancers and the first three switches have all been pressed already. Though I haven't, aside from all of that, I haven't actually done anything different than usual. Well, different from the actual playthrough that I had. So everything's just about the same otherwise. I don't really understand why, though. What happened with the old recording, though. For some reason, despite it being set to not record... So that I'm able to actually alter my voice's audio and the game audio so that the game audio doesn't get too loud, like in that one video. I record game audio and the audio of my voice separately. And for some reason, despite it being selected to not record audio whatsoever, the game audio also picked up on my voice, but desynced itself. So I pretty much had to scrap the entire recording because I wasn't able to make my voice quieter. And then also the fact that, for some, as I said, it desynced for whatever reason. So even if I could line them up line the video and the audio up perfectly, the audio of my voice attached to the game audio was about 5 seconds ahead of the separate audio track of just my voice, for whatever reason. But yeah, oh well. Things are what they are. And luckily we didn't get too far along in the game, so it wasn't very difficult to come all the way back here. But what we have next is the gargoyles. I'm wondering if I should even try going after their tail. The scythe is pretty good when compared to the tail axe, and once we get to Quelaag and I get her soul, I'm probably just going to be getting the Chaos Fury Sword, or whatever it was called again. Because I think the Fury Sword does bonus damage? No, wait. The Fury Sword does bonus damage based on the amount of liquid humanity you have. Huh. I'm trying to decide whether I should stick with the Fury Sword or if I should go with the... or if I should keep using the Scythe. Because I really do like the Scythe. It has a very good amount of range, and it has a nice amount of damage, and it innately builds bleed. But I don't know how effective it would be on a pyro build. One thing that I do like about... oh, that I don't like about Dark Souls 1's sides, though, the way they attack. The thing that one of the many things I really love about Dark Souls 3 is the... yeah, well, okay. Goodbye. One of the things that I really love about Dark Souls 3 is the scythe attack styles. In my opinion, scythes should be long-range, slow attacking, with very, very wide sweeping hits. Because, I mean, they're scythes. I understand that may not necessarily be the most realistic or effective attack style for a scythe, not that they would be all that effective in combat in the first place, but I would prefer being able to hit a large area with the scythe than just having than it basically just being a reskinned halberd or spear. Which admittedly the heavy attack does do, but it does also have that small charge animation where you run forward, and I'm not really a fan of that. Which is something else that I'm also thinking about doing. Once we defeat the gargoyles, we're going to be heading after the Moonlight Butterfly, since I always do the Moonlight Butterfly after the gargoyles, so that I can get the first soul. But, yeah, behind us. What I'm wondering is if I should go and get the Darkwood Grain Ring. Because I'm sure eventually we're going to end up doing the Artorias DLC areas, and every single time I've fought in Artorias, it has been a living nightmare. Oh, not even Artorias, but especially Manus. It has been a living nightmare trying to deal with them without the Wood Grain Ring. Artorias he attacks too quickly and has such quick recovery time from his attacks. And with Manus, it's Manus. You barely have time to do anything other than dodge. I suppose we can deal with you like this. Ha ha ha. Stupid channelers. I really hate the channelers. And that's not because I've gotten stuck on them many, many, many times in the library. Definitely not. Completely not true in the slightest. Oh, wait, where am I going? Oh, right, this way. Because we need to unlock the cage for that dude. That one dude. The traitor. Now, once we defeat the gargoyles, I'm probably just gonna go kill him and get the Ring of Favor and Protection. Damn it. He was able to heal. Which, that does remind me, and I'm sure it's a question, or, I'm sure it's something that a lot of fans of the Dark Souls series know, but, the fact that, what's-his-name, Mr. Gold Knight guy, he's a servant of that one god of, that one god of love or whatever, and then gods, Velka. I want to know, I have to wonder if we will ever learn more about Velka. Because I think, and a lot of other fans probably do have to admit, that out of all of the gods or deities in Dark Souls, Velka is one of the more interesting ones, simply because of how little we know about her, and from the little that we do know, it's quite unusual what exactly she does and why she seems to be helping the protagonist in Dark Souls. The first game, not Dark Souls 1. I don't think she does that much in Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 3 she barely even appears. Though the recent edition of the Painted World of Ariamis does add in a lot more connections, even if they still aren't that many. And welcome, Solaire. Let's go deal with the gargoyles. Because, as I said before, I don't necessarily play Dark Souls for the challenge. If you like the challenge, feel free to not summon people. But for me, well, the developers added it in the game. Why don't I use it? Well, that came out wrong. The developers put it in the game, so why shouldn't I use it? The same thing with, what's it called? The Ceaseless Discharge. Every time I fight the Ceaseless Discharge, I just lure him over to the cliff and knock him down. So, I mean, the developers put that in the game, which means they want you to use it, so why don't you use it? You're creating artificial difficulty if you don't use it. Which, if that's what you want, go ahead. But I don't want artificial difficulty. Oh dear. That's just... Come on. Stop breathing everywhere. There's one gargoyle. Now for the other one. No, I think I'm gonna try and get the tail axe anyways. Oh wait, we can't. This one doesn't have a tail. I guess we'll just have to get it in Orlando. I ain't dying here. And one. Oh wait, no. One and... God. Oh dear. Oh, there we go. Barely survived that one. Victory achieved. Where's the ladder? Here's the ladder. I do have to wonder with a ladder this rusty how it has survived so perfectly so long. Yeah, well, not everything makes sense in the world of Dark Souls. Also, why are there only 2 gargoyles? Like, there's, what, 7 statues on the roof? Something like that? So why aren't there 7 gargoyles? Well, Dark Souls 2 did that. And now that the bell is rung, we can move on to the depths. Oh, first the lower undead bird. I'm not a fan of the lower undead berg. The ambushes, while predictable, very predictable, they're still just frustrating.
Greetings. I am Oswald of Careem. The part thou appearest to like face, yet magnanimous unto God. Cometh out to confess.
I don't know too much about what people think about this guy, but I have to say that I really love him. I really love Oswald. His voice is really nice. Admittedly, he doesn't do all that much, but I still really like him. Cometh thou to confess, or to accuse? That was probably a horrible impersonation of him. I've never been very good with impressions. I think I can hear something moving below. I hope those knights aren't aggroed. Why would they even be aggroed? Yeah. I heard something moving from just below there. I thought they had somehow aggroed me. Oh well. Wait a minute. I just realized... Oh, I made a mistake. At the beginning I said that I was 14 levels under level. That was compared to my character after I finished the failed recording. Which, who knows if I'm even under leveled at this point at all. Let's see, 20 attunement. Let's up my vitality a bit. Alright. Let's see if we can deal with this thing. What is it? The Titanite demon? How much damage are we doing to him? Not very much. Oh dear. Oh! There we go. Goodbye. Oh, now I know to not try and attack it yet. I don't have good weapons. Yeah, one of the lovely, lovely things in Dark Souls that not many people tend to realize. Death isn't really punishment in Dark Souls. It's the game encourages you to die and die and die and die, because every death is a mistake you know not to make anymore. And if it's a death you wouldn't have been able to control, aka something like getting caught in an ambush, well, now you know there's an ambush there. Darkroot Garden. Let's go deal with the butterfly. Mainly I'm going after the butterflies so that I can get the Moonlight Butterfly soul, the first boss soul you can actually get in the game proper if you don't sequence break, or just skip over areas and do things like like I tried to and go straight to Quelaag, but I want the Moonlight Butterfly soul so we can get the 20,000 souls needed to get the Wolf Crest to open this locked gate, so that we can get the Darkwood Grain Ring, and we'll stop sucking. And considering it's the Moonlight Butterfly, let's reverse hollowing so we can get the Witch Beatrice. Oh, what a... Whenever... I'm not too sure how many people here are a fan of things like anime or manga, but there was a visual novel from a while back that not even from a while back, that I'm still currently playing through, named Umaniko, and in it, the main antagonist is a witch named Beatrice, but because it's Japanese saying the name, they pronounce it Beatrice. So whenever I say Beatrice, I always do some weird hybridization of Beatrice and Beatrice. It's something I'm really trying to break, but it's just so damn funny. Like, reading Beatrice, but hearing them go Beatrice like some kind of Italian. It's really weird.